Well, I'm back. I'm looking at a scripture that is found in Ephesians chapter 4, and I've got an idea in my mind, and I just pray that it will come out in the way that the Lord would have it to come out. I'm going to start with verse number 20 in Ephesians chapter 4, verse 20. It says, "But ye have not so learned Christ." Talking about the ones that have heard. "If so be that ye have heard him." Now, it's not just talking about who have heard him, but there's a lot of people that hear, but they don't want to do any more than that. There's a lot of people that fits into that category. "If so be that ye have heard him and have been taught by him, as the truth is in Jesus." Well, if the truth is in Jesus, all of the truth is in Jesus. Everything about Jesus is in Jesus. Jesus spoke more on the subject of hell than anything, but yet people get offended when you bring a message. You talk about the doom of the place called hell. People get offended at that because they take it personal, that you're putting fear into them. Well, what does this verse here say? "If ye have heard, if so that ye have heard him and have been taught by him, as the truth is in Jesus, that ye put off concerning the former things the old man." Too many times the old man comes up and it gets in our way. Now, I hope to bring this out, but I had to find some scripture that would go along with my thought in my head. It says that our old former conversation be put off, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust. That's where wrongdoing comes in. Some people has heard, but they're content in living in the same life that they was living in before. And then in verse 23, "and be renewed in the spirit of your mind." I'm going to stop right there. I know that the verse doesn't stop, but I'm going to stop right there because you got two conflicting verses. Verse 22 says that ye put off concerning the former conversation the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust. Well, that's one side of man. Then, "and be renewed in the spirit of your mind," talking about the God spirit. Now, let me try to explain the reason I'm even reading these verses. I know enough about marketing to say that scenery is everything. I had a four-wheeler not long ago that I bought, and I relinquished that four-wheeler to someone else. He paid me for that four-wheeler. Some of the photos that I had wasn't as good as the other photo that I had taken. And the scenery of the one that I believe that sold the bike was the one that was the best photo. It had a grassy environment. It had a clean front yard. Didn't have no garbage anywhere. It had really a perfect scenery. And I took that photo and put it in the number one position so that people would see it quicker than they would see the other pictures. Now, there wasn't nothing wrong with the other pictures. But here's what my thought is. In order for me to have sold that four-wheeler, I had to present it in a way that it would show its value. Now let me tell you where I'm going with this. I've been looking, and I like to look on Marketplace, and I like to look at different things. And I remember back in 2013, I had bought a motorcycle. I enjoyed it. I did. I enjoyed the motorcycle. I didn't go nowhere on it, but I enjoyed it. I had a license. I had it insured. It was a good bike. It never gave me a minute's bit of trouble. I bought it used. I think I paid $3,300 for it. And I had a guy go with me to go get it, and it was a great bike, and I enjoyed riding it. Again, I didn't go nowhere with it. I was too afraid of it. But one day I was out doing ministry and stopped at the red light waiting to turn, and somebody run over me, literally. It pushed me in the middle of the highway 22 and a half feet. It pushed me across 2 lanes of traffic to the point that I could have easily been killed. It did crush my leg, and it broke my rib. And it was an experience that I had to stay in the nursing home for about 40 days. And I had to go back to therapy many months after that. But I enjoyed it, but I didn't see the truck coming. The truck was in the total wrong. I was totally in the right. I wasn't even moving. The truck hit me sideways. Didn't even see him. If I would have seen him coming toward me, I would have moved, but I had my eye on the red light. My eye was looking up like I'm looking at my light up there above my head. I was looking up, and the man hit me from the side and pushed me 22 and a half feet. So I've been looking at different motorcycles, and I'm not in the crave of buying another one. But part of me would like to be able to have one just to be able to ride down the road and back. Not to go anywhere with, just for the simple fact of me getting on it and riding. Well, I notice how people advertise their bikes. Some people know how to advertise their bike. Number one, they take more than one picture. They know how to advertise when they take the prettiest shot first to grab the attention, and then they go into detail, and they take many, many photos of different angles of the bike where you can see what the bike looks like. Most of them will take the digital readout on the speedometer to show you the mileage. They'll have a close-up of the engine, the close-up of the rear end of the motorcycle where the chain is, the overall appearance from the back and from the other side. It's in a very clean environment. The environment is not junked up. It ain't where you just change the oil and you let the oil go all over the cement. You don't have no leaves on the ground. Your scenery basically is almost sort of like showroom. A good place for a showroom to a motorcycle would be in the grassy yard. That way you get to see it from a distance. I enjoy reading the ad about the motorcycle. I enjoy letting them tell me what they want me to know about the motorcycle. Most of the ones that I'm interested in is from $2,000 to $3,000 because I can't justify more than what I spent on the other one. I bought a 2007 for $3,300. There's still $2,500 and $3,000 for a 2003, a 2005. They're still about the same amount of money. But it's the appearance of how you advertise is what causes someone to want to buy what you have. Is the appearance. And I think what this man, Paul, is saying right here, but ye have not so learned Christ, as far as now, if there's a question about Christ, if so be that ye have heard him, when you hear something but it doesn't take effect, and have been taught by him, as the truth is in Jesus. We know the truth, we hear the truth, but then we decide that, you know what, we don't want to believe in the truth. It's just easy to go and say, no, that's for somebody else. No, it ain't for nobody else. The truth is the truth. The Bible talks more on the subject of hell than it does heaven. Now, if I'm wrong about that, forgive me. But it talks a lot about the place of hell. It mentions the place of hell. I don't want to go there. I done made provision that I'm not going there. Because I come out here and do what I'm doing right now, trying to present the best gospel message I know how to make. You don't hear me coming out here cutting the fool and laughing and carrying on and talking about every subject under the earth. You hear me talk about what verse I'm studying and what verse that I'm getting, and it goes on to say that ye put off concerning the former conversation the old man. The old man, to me, is trying to sell something in a dirty environment. I'm no longer in a dirty environment. Does that mean that I'm clean? Not always. But do I present myself well in front of the camera? If y'all could see the environment of where I am today, right now, you would probably think I ain't listening to that guy. But you're listening to the words. You're not worried about the flag. You're not worried about the hats. You're not worried about the dark room. You're not even worried about my appearance or me as a person, or if my hair is perfectly combed. You're listening, hopefully, to the appearance of what I'm saying right here. He says, if so be that ye have heard him and have been taught by him, as the truth is in Jesus, that ye put off concerning the former conversation the old man. If I had something to sell and I really wanted to sell it, I would make the appearance look mighty good. I would make the appearance look shiny. I would take the time to clean it up, to wash it up, to make it look good, to make it look presentable, to make it look like that's the way they would find it when they got here. I'll give you a great example. I've got a inflatable pontoon boat that is nice of a pontoon boat as you can buy. It's lightweight. It's easy to transport. It's easy to go drag it to the river. It's easy to walk into it. It's easy to sit in its seat. It's got the oars that are mounted on the side. It's safe. It ain't going to go anywhere, even with a grown man like me. That's a nice little boat. It really is. It's got rod holders on the side. It's got a hard floor. It's balanced. It's balanced in a way that you couldn't turn it over if you wanted to. Now, you could probably stand up in it as big as I am and probably turn it upside down. But I'm not going to stand up in it. I'm going to stand up to get in, and I'm going to stand up to walk out of it. And it even has a place of where you can walk out of it from the front and not trip. But because I don't get around very good, I don't want to be in that boat. I don't care how nice it is. I bought it brand spanking new. And the boat is still in great shape. There's nothing wrong with it. Oh, it ain't perfect, but it ain't nothing wrong with it. But if I tried to go out there right now and sell that boat right now, I would be ashamed of that boat. Because the boat has been under my shelter for the last 5 years. And it's collected dust. And it's nasty. And it's dirty. But you know what? A spray down with a water hose would make it amazing. You would first of all wet it and let it sit. Then you would go back and squirt it again and let it sit. And you would keep squirting it and let it get the dust off of it. And then you would present it. Then you would take a rag to it. And you would go ahead and wash the sides and wash the top. Wash the seat. Wash the motor mount. Wash it up. And then let it dry. And then go and put you some of that Armor All like stuff that is on it. And you know what? You're presenting it the way somebody would want to see it. And my point that I'm bringing out right here is, too many times we are trying to sell Jesus in a nasty way. And does Jesus deserve to be sold in a nasty environment? Too many people are trying to talk about Jesus in a nasty environment. That person that had that beautiful motorcycle will never be able to sell that motorcycle in the garbage that was around that motorcycle. And the first thing I thought about is if that motorcycle is in garbage and he's trying to sell it in garbage, what does that tell you about the motorcycle? If he treats his area like garbage, how did he treat the motorcycle? Are you going to sit there and tell me this guy was perfect when it comes to taking care of the motorcycle? No, I'm going to say that the background didn't sell the motorcycle, because the background is what made the bike. The bike might be in perfect condition. It might be in wonderful condition, but it's how you present it when you're trying to move it to someone else. And too many people, I believe, is trying to move Jesus on other people when their background is horrible. And to me, that's what I get out of this verse. It says, the former conversation, the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust. But here's the picture of the new man. And be renewed in the spirit of your mind. The spirit of your mind shouldn't have a bunch of garbage in it. It shouldn't have a bunch of stuff that doesn't make people want what you have. I want people to know Jesus because I come out here and I try to present myself so that somebody would want Jesus. Not that I'm trying to sell something that is gaudy, that is deceitful lust. What am I trying to say today? How many people is really exposing the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords the way that they should, but yet we expose him in garbage, and our testimony is garbage before the Lord? That's what I'm saying. We need to expose Jesus for who he is the King of glory. Did he wear sandals? Yes. Did he wear his clothing? Yes. Was it perfect? Was it spotless all the time? Probably not. No more than mine would be. What am I saying? Allow Jesus to be exposed the best you can. Don't allow Jesus to be in garbage, because if you expose Jesus in garbage, it shows him in a bad light. Just like I had when I looked at that beautiful motorcycle in a bunch of garbage. He could have easily pulled that out to the sidewalk and took his photo, and no doubt it probably would have sold by now. How are you selling the Lord? You first of all have to know him. That's how you sell the Lord, is you have honor and respect for him. Elderly Ministry is the YouTube channel. elderlyministry.com is the website. Go there and look me up. There's an email, phone number. You want to talk, I'll be glad to talk with you. Leave your name and number and I'll get back with you. Thank you.